Hey y'all, it's Troy-Nicole, and today I'm going to be giving you my favorite YA romance recommendations. So all these books are YA, and they're all pretty much all just contemporary. There's no fantasy mixed in or anything like that. If you want something more like that, like more precise tropes, then I can do those as well. So the first book I am going to talk about, I've talked about it on this channel a lot, but I just could not do this without putting this one in, and that is Two-Way Street by Lauren Barnholt. I actually have 3 Lauren Barnholt books because back when I was a preteen, I really loved Lauren Barnholt. But Two-Way Street is actually about a guy and a girl named Courtney and Jordan. Both of them had already agreed prior to their breakup to do a road trip to their future college, and since they cannot just call it off, they decide to go ahead and go with it. However, Jordan's keeping a secret from Courtney. He told her he broke up with her because he met a girl on MySpace. However, that was not the truth, and he's hiding something way bigger that he doesn't want to get out to her or anybody else. So along this road trip, they have to deal with being around each other, and Courtney is not with Jordan right now. Like, she really doesn't want to go on this trip, but she agreed with her dad that she would go ahead and go, so she has no choice. I really love this one. I reread it earlier this year, and I will say something that I didn't realize when I was a preteen, because I was probably because I was a preteen, was that the text lingo that was going on was very, I don't know how millennials type, but it really isn't that bad, and I could just get over it. However, I really was in love with going back and forth because it's told in 2 perspectives. It's told in how they met and how they got together, and then each chapter goes up until you get to present day. So it's like it starts off with how they met, and then by the end you get to where they are now. Or no, not where they are now, when the big secret comes out. So I really suggest this one because I love it, and if you like road trips, I think this one's good. So yeah. So the next book I highly recommend is Sometimes It Happens, also by Lauren Barnholt. This one in particular contains a girl named Hannah as she goes into her ending year of, I think, her junior year. Her boyfriend Ryan ends up breaking up with her, so she's heartbroken, and she's even more heartbroken when she finds out that her best friend Ava is actually going away for the summer, so she'll be all alone. However, Ava's really sweet boyfriend Noah decides to get Hannah a job where he works, so they end up working together over the summer. And yes, you probably can imagine that this does involve emotional cheating and may not be what you like, but Noah and Hannah end up falling for each other during the summer, and I know it's bad, and I am always just like no to cheating stories, but I really enjoyed this one. It's not my favorite Lauren Barnholt book. Definitely Two-Way Street is, but Sometimes It Happens is really good too because Noah is so, like, it's hard to call him sweet because it's wrong what he did, but at the same time it's just like I couldn't help but ship them, and I really love them together. But however, if you don't like the cheating aspect, if you don't want to read someone falling for their best friend's boyfriend, this is not for you. Okay, the last Lauren Barnholt book is The Thing About the Truth. Funny enough, I only give this one 3 stars. I don't really understand why booktube thinks 3 stars is bad. I don't think 3 stars is bad. I think 1 star is bad. But I still pretty much thoroughly enjoyed this one. This one is about a girl named Kelsey who just got kicked out of her private school. I'm pretty sure it was a private school. And she ends up going to a new school where she meets Isaac. They are not friends. They do not like each other in the beginning. And Isaac is a senator's son, so everything he does is kind of put under a telescope. And so Kelsey doesn't really want to tell people why she got kicked out of her school, and she keeps it a secret from pretty much everybody until it comes out, and it unravels this whole scene of events to get them both into trouble. And the whole story is actually told in Kelsey's perspective and Isaac as they are talking to, I think, the principal or a counselor in the beginning of the story. So it's them going back and telling the story about how they met and how they got to the point where they are in trouble after everything unfolds. That might have been a terrible synopsis, but I actually really enjoyed this one, so I always recommend it because it's just, I don't know, it's just very interesting. Okay, so the next one is, despite how I feel about the author of this book, I felt like I had to put it in because it was probably my favorite book when I was a preteen, and that is The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. Now, I am not a big Nicholas Sparks fan. In retrospect, I have never read another Nicholas Sparks book that I actually even liked. So this is like the only one, but I really did enjoy this. If you are thinking about the Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth movie, that is what the movie is based off of. The last song is about a girl named Ronnie whose mom forces her to go see her dad over the summer with her little brother. However, she has a really bad relationship with her father after her mom and dad get a divorce, and she is not over it after 3 years. So she's kind of not feeling going to his house on the beach. I think they're in the Carolinas. I want to say it's North Carolina. I have not read this book in a very long time, but I'm pretty sure it's North Carolina. And she's just not feeling it, but along the way she ends up meeting a girl named Blaze, and she kind of intermingles with them, and she meets Liam Hemsworth's character, who Liam Hemsworth plays in the movie. I honestly think the book is so much better than the movie. The movie does not do this book justice. I think it's such a great story. One thing that I love is I love familial books, so books that are not just about love between two significant others, but also love between family. And this plays a very big part of the family because there is a family secret that neither Ronnie nor Jonah know. And when it comes out, I'm so not joking, I cried like a baby when I was a preteen, and this one is just like, it will always have a place in my heart. It just always will. Okay, the next one is, The Crushes by Pamela Wells, which at the time, I didn't realize that this was a second book in a series, and not a standalone series. In a series, you need to read the first book to read the second book. So this is one of those stories that chronicles more than one person. It chronicles, I think, 4 best friends: Raven, Alexa, Sydney, and Kelly. They all have different things going on that sparks from the first book when you meet them and they're boyfriends or not boyfriends. You have one girl who, Raven, is really, she's not ready to commit to her boyfriend, but she kind of is with him. But then a new guy comes along and some stuff happens with them. Alexia is going through her first love, and Sydney is back with her longtime boyfriend Drew after a really devastating breakup from the first book. And Kelly is all alone as she kind of just like follows. She's like the friend that just doesn't have anyone when the story starts. But there is a character that she's feeling some type of way about. So as all their stories kind of mix into one, I didn't mean to read the second book and not the first one, but when I went to go read it, there wasn't anything that said on there, I don't think, that there was a first book, and I just didn't know until literally 2 years ago. But I really enjoyed this one. I really like the alternating perspectives of different relationships, so I really like this one. The next one is another one that is a series, which is the Summer Boys series by Haley Abbott. This one is actually about a group of cousins over a few summers as they kind of navigate young adulthood. The first cousin is Ella, who is crushing on her sister's boyfriend. I know it's terrible. Then there is Beth, who's starting to fall in love with her best friend George. And finally, there is Jamie, who is heartbroken in the beginning of summer, and her summer love abandons her. So it kind of goes on between the books about all the relationships that they form or don't form, and as they go into adulthood. One of the endings kind of hurt my heart, but that's okay. I think back then my favorite couple though was Beth and George. Everyone else's was kind of okay, but I really enjoyed this series, and I think it was the first romance series I ever read. And the last book I will recommend is Moonglass by Jessie Kirby. This one is about a girl named Anna. Her dad ends up needing to have a job transfer back to the city where her mom is from. Her mom is dead by the time this book starts. And when she goes there, she not only finds love, but she finds a bunch of family secrets she didn't know about her mother and her mother's family. Again, I really like familial type books, so this one I really did enjoy. Honestly, I don't remember what star rating I would have given it. I didn't do star ratings when I was a preteen, but if I remember in my head, I think I gave it about 4 when I reread it. So yeah, that's it for my recommendations. If you enjoyed, I will gladly do some more. I have a lot of favorite tropes like marriage of convenience and hate to love, friends to lovers. Ooh, now that's my shit. Historical romances, etc., etc. So if you want to see more, I would love to show you more. But until next time, do what you love, be what you love, and peace.